Thanks for tuning in to NCTV Channel 17 and NCTV17.com. Welcome inside Murner Fieldhouse in Gregory Arena for North Central College women's basketball. Cardinals again hosting today the Augustana College Vikings, coming in with a record of 5-8, 1-2 in CCIW play. North Central College 7-7 on a three-game losing streak. 0-3 in CCW. Alongside Mark Dahlquist, I am Justin Zipser. Thanks for joining us. Let's get you set up for the game as they're going through the starting lineups. We'll start with the starters for Augustana College. Molly Etheridge, Amy Hicks, and Gianna Pecora, all at guard, and the front court, Jessica Bates, Channy Tambling. And Mark, I'll bring you in now. Talk about Etheridge, a player that has been a leader for a couple years here on this Augustana team, what she brings to the Vikings.
Well, the offense really runs through her. I mean, not only is she the team's leading scorer, but she's also leading the team in assists. So really, whenever the Vikings are trying to get points on the board, the offense is running through Etheridge, whether it be taking the shots or dishing the ball out.
For the Cardinals, as they're going through the starting lineups right now, they're seeing Michelle Todd in the starting lineup because of the injury to Lauren Hernandez, who was injured in the game against Carthage on Wednesday night. Also starting for the Cardinals, Bobby Johns, Marissa Cladis at the guard spot, and Kimberly Wilson at fourth guard. So we have a four-guard lineup starting for the Cardinals. And then the front court, we have Emily Murphy. All right, let's break this down, Mark, as we get set for tip-off. On paper, a pretty even matchup as far as record goes.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at these two teams, they match up evenly until you look at the CCIW games. Many people wouldn't have thought that Augustana would beat Wheaton College, a team that, for sake of a better word, crushed North Central earlier this week, 106-67. But Augustana went in and beat Wheaton College. The Cardinals still looking for their first win. They've been scoring a lot of points, Justin. They're averaging over 80 points in CCIW games. They're also giving up a lot, giving up over 92 points per game in those three CCIW matchups.
Mark, referencing that Wheaton game, that took place Wednesday night, and we saw the Vikings beat Wheaton 60-53. Good win for Augustana. That was actually their first win against Wheaton since 2007-2008. A 9-game losing streak to Wheaton has been snapped for the Vikings, and now they are out looking for another win against the Cardinals as we're getting set for tip-off. Again, like you said, Mark, the common opponents. Talking about that Wheaton game, North Central played against Wheaton here at Murner Fieldhouse last Saturday. The Cardinals lost by 39 points, and we'll see what happens here.
It's their most lopsided loss of the year, but you can't get into those common opponent games. The only game that matters is the one on the court right now.
Saw Coach Mark Beinhorn for Augustana, his first year coaching for Augie. He's been with the program since 2008, his first year as a head coach for the varsity squad. First basket on the board is Channy Tambling. And another turnover, or rather a first turnover for the Cardinals. They play that up-tempo offense. Tambling again gets it to go.
Augustana's doing a nice job of just getting the ball inside and trying to get those easy two-point buckets.
Cardinals ranked very highly in the nation as far as points per game. And we got another turnover for the Cardinals. So now 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Cardinals. 2 possessions, 2 points, or excuse me, 4 points, 2 baskets for the Vikings.
Yeah, Augustana's doing exactly what they want to do to start this game. Score early against the Cardinals, because the Cardinals have the ability to put up a lot of points real quickly.
Cardinals ranked 2nd in the entire nation in scoring offense, 88.5. The number has dropped a little bit in CCIW play.
Got to get rid of it.
They finally do get rid of it right before a turnover here. Sophie Newsome right to the cup, as you saw, a 5-in, 5-out exchange for the Cardinals. 5 players that started are already out of the game, as we see line changes every pretty much every dead ball for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the starting lineup's really just a formality for the Cardinals, as their 3 leading scorers aren't even, in the starting lineup. And a nice job of drawing the foul there for the Cardinals.
Sophie Newsome making her presence felt off the bench on both sides of the court. She draws a charge on Jessica Bates, who scored 18 points for Augie in the win over Wheaton. 3-point shot, no good for Cooling on the right wing. Cardinals will keep it off the offensive rebound. Here's Shoemaker inside. She puts it in, and the foul.
Yeah, that's what this Cardinal offense likes to do. Either if they're not putting up threes, they want to get an easy 2-point bucket. No 15-foot jumpers, no 17-foot jumpers. It's either a layup or a three-pointer for this Cardinal offense.
Shoemaker, excuse me, as 4 Cardinals will head to the bench in exchange for a group of other Cardinals. Shoemaker leading the team in scoring with just a hair under 12 points per game. Also leads the team in rebounding as well, 6.5. So a player that, despite the balanced minutes throughout the entire team, does her damage on the glass and shooting the ball. But she misses the free throw. Augie running, ball on the floor. It was Molly Etheridge who lost it, and then on the shot was Gianna Pecora. No good, and Cardinals will take over here. Swanson, top of the key, inside Shoemaker again. Spin move, right hand in and out. And the Augie player who tried to save it stepped out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Cardinals with a fresh shot clock. Swanson, right wing, her three is true. So the Cardinals shooting a little bit better here in the early going as compared to what we've seen in a couple of these CCIW games. The Cardinals take a 7-4 lead early on the Vikings.
Swanson's one of the better three-point shooters, so that's the shot you want. But again, this is what the Cardinals didn't do well against Wheaton. Get back on defense, and Augustana with an easy bucket in transition. You got to be able to get back and have somebody at least challenge that.
It was Maddie Kerr who got back in the backcourt, and the Cardinals did not. And in exchange, the Cardinals with an easy basket of their own, Emily Murphy. So the Cardinals, again, I just mentioned it, but I think it bears repeating that the fact that the Cardinals have gotten off to slow starts many times throughout the season, especially in CCIW play. It's always a good confidence booster when you come out shooting hot, getting the ball inside, shooting well from the outside as well.
Yeah, and that's what I think really helped them in their most recent game against Carthage. The Cardinals were able to get out in front against a team that was picked to finish second in the CCIW. Granted, the Cardinals went on to lose that game, but it was a lot closer than many people would have thought because North Central was able to jump out in front and put the pressure on the other team.
4-6 from the field for the Cardinals so far, a hot start. Augie with a similar hot start as well, although they have a couple of turnovers as well. 3 of 4 from the field. Augie used to having hot starts, again, in their win over Wheaton. They had an amazing first half, as we've seen Tambling inside. Her shot up and good from the feed from Pecora. Augie had a 38-18 advantage as another three goes in for the Cardinals. This one off the hands of Marissa Gladys. 38-18 was the score at halftime over Wheaton, and they did not look back, never had a deficit in that game. They always had the lead. But they are down right now to the Cardinals as no one is in the backcourt. Michelle Todd catches up, a nice passing as it's Tambling once again for her 8th point of the game.
Last 3 Vikings baskets have been in transition. The Cardinals have to be aware of that, and I understand you want to put pressure on and go with the full court press, but players, you know, like Michelle Todd, need to be aware of that and get back and know that they're going to have their hands full.
I will say at first it was basically no man's land in that backcourt. Michelle Todd, as she oftentimes does, will come out of nowhere to at least
showed her speed.
At least change the shot, have some sort of presence on that shot inside. But hasn't been doing much magic so far. But there it is once again. Todd with the steal. It was 3-on-1. She didn't care. She takes a steal. They go around the horn. Here's Kimberly Wilson for 3. The Cardinals off to a hot start.
That was excellent ball movement by the Cardinals, moving it around the horn, trying to find the open player, and what a shot there.
Cardinals still looking for their first CCIW win of the season. They only had one all of last season, as we mentioned throughout our broadcast on NCTV Channel 17. Here's Tambling, offensive board, put back, and Michelle Todd wants a timeout. She ran out immediately to, or maybe a sub timeout, either way, get a new group of players in there. Excuse me, Rochelle Roof, excuse me. Too many Michelles on this team, one too many.
Well, the Cardinals need to keep an eye on Channing Tambling. She's been having a nice game down low, and it seems to just be that transition bucket. She's one of their bigger forwards, but what she does is she runs the floor well, and she's getting some open looks with only a smaller guard on her.
It's Callie Resin in the game now for the Cardinals. It's forced out of bounds. It'll be a block foul on Augie. Jessica Bades gets hit with her first personal, 13th foul already for Augie. Cardinals have yet to commit a foul. .20 on the shot clock. It's Newsom trying to work off the screen from Bachman. Ball's loose. She picks it up. And that's an offensive foul. She kind of just barreled her way with her head down into the paint.
Yeah, it looks like her feet got tangled up with one of the Viking players. She tried to make a play out of it, trying to get the ball out to the shooter and Kaylee Resin, but Newsom gets charged with the Cardinals' first foul.
Cardinals coming off a pretty good showing against Carthage here at Mentor Fieldhouse on Wednesday night as the Cardinals get it back inside. Ball knocked away from Resin. She made an attempt at the shot at the rim. Cardinals lost to Carthage 85-74. Kept it close throughout the second half, but in the end, Carthage ran away with it a little bit. Bachman thought about the three and said, we'll give to Newsom off the backboard and between the rim, really no good. And no one in the backcourt whatsoever as an easy basket for Amy Hicks. And Augie, all of a sudden, only down by 1 point again. That hot shooting has kind of left the Cardinals a little bit here in the last couple of minutes. Here's another three, this one from Swanson. She made her first, no good on her second attempt. Ball rolls around. Elam picks it up. Oh, and there was a travel, even though I don't know if she really had possession as she was shuffling her feet.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. I don't think Elam really had possession either. She was sort of, ball was bouncing around her hands, but she never really had control for them to be able to call it travel. But that's the way the whistle blows.
Augie with a chance to take a lead. For three, no good. It was a shot off the hands of Pecora. And she almost gets a steal on the other side of the court, knocks it out of bounds. And now the Cardinals will have to go out of the half court. Pecora, third leading scorer last season for the Vikings. 8.3 points a game. She also took down 4 boards a game as well. Swanson again, right wing. 5 minutes in, Cardinals up by 1. It was Elam who got tangled up. Jump ball, it will stay with the Cardinals. Amanda Hoy with the top of the key. She's in the game now for the Cardinals. Elam making her drive towards the basket. And a little bit of confusion in the paint.
Emily Murphy's got to go up with that. That was a beautiful pass from Elam. Murphy, maybe just give a little pump fake and then try and draw the foul, but she's got to take that up. And she knows it as she's coming to the bench. She's frustrated.
Cardinals certainly, basically every person on this team has the green light from distance, but they seem a little conservative, a little unwilling to shoot the ball when they're in the paint, as we've seen over the last couple of games. And another basket for Wheaton. Michelle Roof sees her lead slip away. Inside, Cladis, wild shot, no good. Shoemaker rebound, and she puts it in. Cardinals get that lead right back.
There's those offensive rebounds you were talking about with Shoemaker. She does a good job of manning the offensive glass, and she's able to put it back quite easily.
Augie in the paint, basket good. No one in the paint, basically, for Kayla Boers.
Augie, I believe, have scored all their points inside the paint. So Cardinals really don't have an answer for their inside game just yet.
Seventh turnover of the game already for the Cardinals as Augie will take over. 5 in, 5 out. Shoemaker and company taking a seat on the bench. There's Emily Murphy. Bors once again, her shot no good. He was cooling on the offensive break, but pulls back. And pass tomahawked over the head of a Cardinal player.
It was almost a little too strong quarterback pass, yeah. Looked like she was looking for a tight end, not a forward.
Cardinals very unselfish as it's Murphy inside.
It was an athletic play by Murphy. The Vikings tried to go off her foot, but she was able to maintain possession. Got a nice look at it, but not able to convert.
Augie won both matchups last season in CCIW play. And last season, Augie, his team went 11-14, but only won 3 games in conference play. So much like North Central, struggling once the real games, in essence, start. Trap in the backcourt. Augie gets it away, and they find Bors. She went with the left hand, and she gets blocked or fouled, rather, by Beck.
Not a bad foul to give.
I think anytime you have an open basket at the rim, you can foul someone and make them earn it at the line. It is a good foul.
You know, it's only the Cardinals' second foul of the game. Obviously, you don't want to give up too many of those, but not a bad foul to give there in that situation because it would have been an easy 2 for the Vikings. And it already works out.
5 in, 5 out. Another line change for North Central. Augie led the conference in free throw shooting percentage last season. This year they've fallen back quite a bit. They're 6th in the conference, shooting around 66% coming into tonight's game.
And Kayla Bors under that percentage. She's shooting under 48%, but she does split the 2 here.
Todd's inbound pass as she tried to get that break started immediately to Hoy. A little too far for Hoy, and it rolls out of bounds. Augie will get the ball right back. In the corner for 3, no good. Augie off the miss, the rebound. Nice jumping, a nice jump steal from Todd as they try to go inside. And Shoemaker, she puts it in. So she's been a good omen for this team, getting it inside, usually getting points out of it.
Yeah, she's somebody you'd like to see on the court a little bit more. I mean, with all the line changes the Cardinals have, she's on the bench half the game, but she's really one of the better inside presence for the Cardinals.
Tied at 19 as the miss is picked up by Augie, and Etheridge, the leading scorer on the team, puts it right back in. Augie retakes the lead, 21-19. Shoemaker with 6 points to lead the Cardinals right now. Guarded inside by Bors. They get it to her, excuse me. And Todd gets fouled on her attempt at the basket. Again, she's starting in place of Lauren Hernandez. Lauren hurt her leg, ankle area last game against Carthage. Good shooter from outside, but Todd, I would say, better on the defensive side of the ball. She hits the first of 2 shots.
Todd hasn't been to the line very much as a free throw shooter this year. Only 26 attempts, but she's only made 9 of them, so that rounds out to about a 34% free throw shooter.
3rd straight home game for North Central. They've lost the first 2, as we mentioned, and they are on a 3-game losing streak as it is in CCIW play.
The Cardinals have really been in both the CCIW games, or 2 of the 3 CCIW games. That Wheaton game really never close. So I think the Cardinals, if they can get a win here today, that's going to boost their confidence moving forward in the rest of the games.
Nice job by Newsom to bother the shot of Tambling. Now North Central on the run, but they throw it away. Ball still on the ground. And here's Kim Wilson for 3. Her first 3 went in. This one, no such luck. Ball will stay with North Central. And this is a first part of a doubleheader here on NCTV Channel 17. Got the men's version of this game coming up around 7:30 or so. Tie game right now for the girls. No good from Bobby Johns from beyond the arc. Despite Augie coming in with a modest 11-14 record last season, it's actually their most wins in a season, the 11 wins, since the 2003-2004 season. So a program on the up and up in the CCIW. 2-on-1, it's Newsom defending. She gets bowled over by Tambling, no foul, and Tambling puts it in uncontested. And Gladys right back at him. She goes distance from the right wing. Second basket of the game for Marissa. Inside they go right back to the well. It's Tambling inside. They have no answer for her size in the paint.
Well, the Cardinals have been doing a nice job when they were able to slow Augustana into their half-court offense. But just that time, just too much down-low presence there from Tambling.
25 points for Augustana. Tambling has 14 of them. So obviously they're going to her earlier and often. Behind the back move, nice with the left hand, no good. Andrea McNally missed the shot. She entered the game on the last dead ball. There's a loose foul on Van Ryn, Valerie Van Ryn, who was the other part of that 2-on-1 break for the Vikings. Loose ball, and now the Colonels take over once again, trying to get the lead back. Inside, nice move from Cooling. She had no one on her in the paint. She just kind of flipped it up with her right hand.
Cooling usually a threat on the outside, but she's pretty deadly when she gets inside the paint too, if she has a chance.
Another 2-on-1, and it's Tambling, the beneficiary. She put a shot. It was no good. Jump ball with Todd.
Boy, the Cardinals are asking Todd to do a lot on defense on these breaks. As you said, she's able to get her hand and leg in that to disrupt it, but 9 out of 10 times, the Vikings are probably going to score on that.
I'm sure Mark Beinhorn, coach for Augustana there, as you saw on the bench, happy that the Vikings still going back inside to Tambling. Replacing Bobby Endress as coach. She resigned for 6 seasons at Augustana. Ball goes out of bounds. North Central takes over yet again. With the program since 2008, Coach Beinhorn, but only a coach technically since 2010, where he led the JV teams to winning records. Getting his shot at the head coaching position on varsity. Shot no good. It's bouncing around over there on the other side of the court. Bachman had a couple chances at it, couldn't get it to go. Augie, basically every time the court mark, they're trying to go inside no matter how many defenders are in the paint from the Cardinals. And we saw the Cardinals play good defense there and knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, everybody in the gym knows where it's going to at this point. Tambling down low inside the paint, why not? I mean, when you're scoring half your team's points at a distance of 5 feet or fewer, why not feed the ball in? And I think the Vikings are doing a good job of using the mismatch that the Cardinals are giving them. The last 2 times down the court, we saw Tambling guarded by Resin and Cooling, guards that are much smaller than her. So if you got a chance to give her the ball, go ahead and do it.
Foul was on Kerr, her first personal 17th foul, and Cooling on the first of the 1-1 as Cardinals in the bonus knocks it down. 6 points for Cladis and Shoemaker to lead the Cardinals. Again, 14 points alone from Cheney Tambling. Augie can't depend on one player all night long, and the Cardinals have a 3-point lead. Showing that familiar full court. Inside with the left hand, it's no good off the hands of Kerr, but the putback is good. Elam throws it away on the other side of the court. And And yet again, they're going right back into it. I mean, Sophie Newsom, a player, very active hands, but undersized. She tried to get a hand on Amy Hicks's shot. It was no bueno. And Newsom on the other side of the court, her shot no good as well, but the board will keep the ball with the Cardinals. Finally, they go back to Shoemaker. Her shot is good. I mean, she has a really nice set of post moves, Mark.
Yeah, give the Vikings a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. Feed the ball into Shoemaker in the paint. She's one-on-one with Tambling, and I'd take that matchup any time.
Newsom draws her second charging foul of the game. She's so good at that. We've seen it all of last year, and it's transitioned very well into this year as well.
Yeah, she did that in the Wheaton game about 4 times. Newsom's great at getting back and basically planting her feet, and just the real thing about taking the charge is being able to accept the fact that you're going to get hit and you're going to go down. And Newsom accepts that, and she takes that hit. And, you know, if you add a little acting to it to get the whistle to blow, yeah, all the better, more power to you.
I'm not sure if she is a theater major at North Central, but
she takes those charges hard.
If she's not, she very well could be. Ball gets knocked away. Here's Augie on the run. One-on-one on Beck. Shot up and good. Appreciating Beck's defense there, but a little too much on the hands of Amy Hicks as she got to go and the foul.
Yeah, Beck had a good foul earlier in the half against Boers on the break where she was able to foul her, not able to get the shot off. But this time, she basically let Amy Hicks get a second look at it. If you're going to foul her, make sure that that ball is not even going to go near the backboard. So now a chance for the 3-point play and a 2-point lead for the Vikings.
Hicks gets it to go. She'll take a seat on the bench. And a bunch of applause and high fives, all the good work from her. She's averaging 7 points a game, so the Cardinals don't want to forget about her. Whistle before their shot, so that will not count no matter what happens. It was a miss anyway. The offensive foul, I guess it was a loose ball offensive foul on Murphy. First personal, 4th team foul. Augie takes over. Oh, beautiful touch pass inside. The shot from Boers was no good, but she was fouled by Gladys, and Boers will go to the line.
It's a tough call there. I thought Gladys got all ball, but going to get the benefit of the doubt if you've got an easy layup like that.
All that made possible off the touch pass from Braids, who got it from Pecora. Good teamwork from Augie, trying to manufacture some points. But as you mentioned earlier, not a great free throw shooter, Boers. So.
No, Boers shooting under 48% on the season, so she's 1 of 3 today.
She split both her trips to the line, and now Augie with a 3-point advantage with around 8.5 left here in the first half. Wilson inside, wild shot. No good, but it bounces right to Gladys, and the Cardinals will start over. Shot clock not reset, as Wilson shot did not hit the rim. Foul on the drive. It was Beck, and now she'll go to the line. She had a couple of fouls in this game, sending players to the line. Now she'll have a shot of her own.
Beck, another person who really hasn't been to the line a lot for the Cardinals this year. Just 3 attempts, and that just moves her to 50% on the year.
North Central and Augustana basically shoot around the same percentage from the line, around 66%. 4 in, 4 out for the Cardinals, substitution-wise. And Beck makes them pay. She hits both from the line. And she'll take a seat on the bench, completing that line change, and Michelle Todd will take her spot on the floor. Ball tied up. It's a timeout called by Beinhorn, the coach. Before, I guess I was going to be called the jump ball possession arrow pointing North Central's direction. So good play there, or a good call there by Beinhorn.
Yeah, he really bailed this player out. The Cardinals did a nice job of coming up with the press. I believe it was Cooling and Shoemaker on it, so nice job by the Cardinals.
So timeout, score is 33-32. Vikings on top. We'll be right back with more basketball right here on NCTV 17.
Abandoned and lost. From the dark, cold streets of the city to a cage in the local shelter, to heaven, your lap.
Back here on NCTV, Channel 17, North Central down a point to Augustana early, and evenly matched matchup coming into the game is what Mark and I expected, and so far is exactly what we have seen.
Yeah, really, the Vikings are doing it, and they're doing it through two people right now. We expected the offense to go through Etheridge. She's only got 2 points in the game, but really coming up big for the Vikings are Amy Hicks and Channing Tambling. Those two have combined for 23 of the 33 points.
So Augustana, not, you know, an exceptionally balanced attack so far, but whatever works for you. Bades, her turnaround jumper is good. She thought she got fouled on the play too, but no such luck. She got the basket to go regardless. Turnover, once again for the Cardinals. And right back the other way, Cardinals get the ball right back. 14 turnovers for the Cardinals, 13 for Augustana. And, okay, make that 15 for the Cardinals, as it's another one. Not sure if these teams won to score. Inside, no good. Van Ryan's shot was no good, but Boers got fouled on the putback.
Well, what's interesting is how different these two teams are approaching their offense. Augustana obviously realizing that they have an advantage in the inside game, and they're taking advantage of that, only putting up 2 3-pointers. They haven't hit one yet. But the Cardinals, on the other hand, they've put up 12 from beyond the arc, making 4 of them. So that's a pretty good percentage if you're the Cardinals and you want to keep firing.
That's a good point. I think, you know, we mentioned this in the broadcast. Cardinals certainly like to shoot from three-point land. They actually are first in the nation in three-point shot attempts per game with around 12.5. So they like to shoot the three, and what we've seen so far from Augie is they like to go inside. So it's a meshing of 2 offensive styles. Right now, Augie with the better of the 2 styles. So they have a 3-point advantage and the ball, and North Central with their 16th turnover in the first half. That you just cannot win ball games when you're turning the ball over every possession.
No, it's really tough to try and get into a rhythm if you just keep giving the Vikings momentum.
North Central sometimes plays maybe a little bit too fast for what they're capable of. I mean, certainly they have been running this offensive system all year, and they're learning. The coaches are learning, so it is a learning process for everyone involved. Augie takes a 5-point advantage, their largest of the game. Newsom, her 3, no good. Ball bounces around. Kimberly Wilson will pick it up. North Central shot really well coming out of the gates, but now they are down to 39% from the field. And that's going to go a little bit up. Kim Wilson with the shot, her second three-pointer of the game. Cardinals back within 2 points.
Newsom might have got away with a foul on that one, and she turns it the other direction. And a nice look up court.
It's Ellington. Tanisha Ellington. Haven't heard her name yet today, but she gets the basket there off the fast break for the Cardinals. Roof talking to Hoy and Newsom, maybe a little bit defensive strategy, or maybe offensive strategy because of Roof pointing that direction. Mentioned before, 39% from the field for the Cardinals. As they get to turnover, Gladys, her shot no good, she's fouled. North Central's bumped that up to 42, respectable amount for the first half.
Seems like it's been a sloppy game on both ends of the court for both teams in the past 3 minutes. A lot of turnovers, but the Cardinals able to take advantage and actually score some points, and as they've tied this game.
If I'm doing my math correct, 31 turnovers between the two squads, and we have 6 minutes remaining in the first half. First 2 shots made from Gladys, and her second one gives the Cardinals the lead. Trap gets away. Tambling almost got the offensive board, but it will instead roll to Pecora. Either way, Augustana will keep a double team. It's a trap. Cladis comes down with it. And timeout, North Central side.
Smart play there. I mean, she couldn't get up with it, or it would have been a travel call. I don't know how she ended up with it, but got the timeout.
Cardinals are third in steals, and they have the ball. 39-38 is your score, with 5:39 remaining. And up and down game, certainly. I mean, you've had your good, you've had your bad. Cardinals turning the ball over 17 times. But then again, they forced Augie into 15 turnovers as well.
It was interesting there. It looked like the Cardinals had called the timeout, but Michelle Roof didn't call anybody over to the bench. Augie had all of their players over there getting a talking from their head coach. But all of a sudden, the ball's going to be back in play with no Cardinals heading over to the bench to talk things out.
Todd with the inbound, and the Cardinals with around 5.5 to go. And the 1-point lead, trying to put more on the board. Again, averaging just under 90 points a game. Todd offensive board. She gets hacked on the way up. She will certainly get 2 shots at the line. Cardinals have hit all 8 of their free throws. And I certainly am a jinx.
Way to go with that.
8 of 9
like
now.
Pitching a perfect game.
8 of 9. I don't believe in that stuff. I do not believe in that stuff. Anyone who says it just bothers me. Anyway, Todd misses the first of 2. 8 of 9 from the line. The Cardinals are now 4-7 for Augie. So both teams doing their job at the line. And Todd goes down after the shot. Not sure if she went down from box out. Either way, she's back up.
I think she slipped on something on the court. She looks to be getting off pretty easily, though.
See the Derrick Rose shoes.
Wincing in a little bit of pain, but
I guess she was going to take a seat on the bench regardless, as it was another line change. And Tamling had a sure basket, but a little ahead of herself as the ball went off of her hands and then off of North Central player's hands before she can get the shot up.
Newsom might have got away with a little bit of a kick there.
22 on the shot clock. And here's Tamling, her longest shot of the game by far, goes back rim, bounces around a couple times, and well, I was going to say it's a North Central advantage, but it's Pecora who comes up with the offensive board.
4 players underneath that basket going for that board, and 2 of them tipped it out to the Vikings players. They got to know who's around them.
It's Rez, and her shot bounced around on the rim for a little bit, did not go in. And it will stay with Augie.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the call foul on the Cardinals. And that'll send the Vikings to the line as they are just reached the bonus. Shoemaker, I believe, her second.
That is indeed the call. So the Cardinals now will get to test their mettle again from a rebounding standpoint. Had a couple chances on that last Augie possession, but bounced it right to Pecora, who nailed a 3. Nice one-handed board from Murphy. And Cardinals are on the run. Down by a point, and they give it right back. Here comes Augie on the other side. And obvious travel call there.
You know, the Cardinals came into this game averaging under 22 turnovers a game, which is still a lot, but with this type of offense, you can, you know, afford to have some of those turnovers, but they're well on their way to reaching that and surpassing it maybe 2 minutes into the second half.
They do, you know, they turn over the ball up, but they have the highest turnover margin in the conference. And another 3-point shot hit for North Central. Tamling probably had good position on that right block, but decided to pass it.
Hoy showing a little hustle, too, getting down there to knock that ball out of bounds.
North Central still looking for that first conference win. 0-3 to start the CCIW schedule. Offensive board once again. It'll go to Hicks. And now Augie will set right back up. And that's a travel call there. It was a nice play, though, by Valerie Van Ryan to I guess, move up towards the pass. It was not a good pass. She at least caught it and tried to go with it towards the basket, but she did not put the dribble down. That's a travel call. North Central takes over.
Yeah, she was almost looking like an NFL receiver. Instead of waiting for the ball, she was going towards it. But problem is, when she caught it, she forgot to put the ball on the floor.
And we got an off-ball foul. It was Bachman with it on the right wing. And this will be on Augie.
Sends Shoemaker to the line. Well, she's a pretty good shooter on the year, averaging over 77%. She gets there more than any Cardinal, by far.
It was Etheridge drawing her second personal. We haven't heard a lot about Molly Etheridge tonight. And coming into today's game, leading the team in scoring with 10.5. It's down a little bit, about a point from her total, or at least her season average from last season. But she's rebounding more this year. North Central still up by 2. And here's Etheridge, the aforementioned Molly Etheridge. A nice fake to get Todd in the air, and she puts it up uncontested to tie the game at 43. Cladis kicks. They're going to let Shoemaker work inside. A nice bullet pass to Cladis. She gets position around her defender and gets to the basket with no one on her.
Yeah, nice job by Cladis. They knew that the defender was going to be looking in at Shoemaker, and Cladis took advantage of that.
She got right around Etheridge as Cardinals will get the ball. Excuse me, rather, it'll stay with Augie, I think. I'm not sure where. Either way, a nice move there by Cladis to get around Etheridge, and there was no help defense.
It's going to be Cardinal ball. So nice for a little point swing right here.
Shot from three-point land, rattles around it, it goes in. It's Cooling once again.
All right, now the Cardinals need to step up their D and try and carry this momentum into halftime.
Cooling now with 7 points for the Cardinals. Second on the team. Jump ball and possession arrow pointing North Central's direction. So the Cardinals making a little bit of a run here.
Well, and let me tell you how crucial it is for the Cardinals to be up at halftime. This season, when they're leading at halftime, they're 6-0. When they're down or tied at halftime, they're 1-7.
So that is absolutely crucial. Again, all those games that they've been ahead of have been in non-conference schedules. And it's another 3. The Cardinals are picking up where they left off early in the first half.
Fire's contagious here in this Cardinal offense. Somebody gets hot, another person gets hot, it seems like. Once they get into a rhythm, everybody seems to start making their shots fall.
Newsome normally the one that makes the threes, but they've kind of been spreading the wealth a little bit. We've seen Cooling make a couple. Jenny Swanson, one of the mainstays from last season, making her presence felt from three-point land as well. First of the 1-on-1 off the foul from Cooling is made. Andrea McNally at the line. Splits the pair, but the rebound is for Augie, so they will get a chance for 3 points here as the shot is up and no good from Pecora. Cardinals catch a break there. She had a good look at it.
Smart job by, Swanson pulling out.
Cardinals thought they would test that three-point shot once again. Cooling no good. Bounces, it hits the shot clock, so that will go over to Augie's side. 8 of 18 from three-point land, the Cardinals are. And they average around 12.5 per game. That's leading the nation. They've already surpassed that in the first half. Foul on Elam. She just went over the top of Tambling. At least Tambling will have to earn that stuff at the line now.
And I think you're thinking how many they make per game. They average making 12. They take much more than that per game. They lead the nation in attempts and makes. It'd be nice if they led in percentage.
Hicks takes a seat on the bench, and And Kerr will take her place and figure rebounding threat on the block. Cardinals on the run off the free throw miss. They've been very good offensively here so far. Elam, nice pass inside. Murphy can't get it to go.
Whoa.
Here's Elam snatching it out of midair. Almost assuredly would have been points for Augie, but Elam says no thank you.
It's quite an athletic play.
But Cardinals will not get any points out of that. Actually, you know what? I may be wrong.
Yeah, you never know. The way turnovers were going in this game, the Cardinals could get it right back.
Jump ball possession arrow pointing Augie's direction. Nice job there by Murphy to at least get a little dirty on the floor and make a play for the ball. Not for a lack of effort, the Cardinals. Certainly, a scrummy team. They
Yes.
get down the floor, and certainly effort is not a problem for this team whatsoever.
No, and just the type of offense they run. The ball's it's going to tend to bounce around with turnovers, and hopefully it ends up in the Cardinals' possession.
Traveling call, it was Hicks who made a step without the dribble. 20th turnover for Augie. As much as we talk about North Central turning the ball over, they have kind of plateaued out at 18 as we have a minute and a half left here in the second half. 20 now for Augie.
Starting to build up that turnover margin, as you alluded to earlier, Justin.
Cardinals going around the horn inside, and now they kick it out to Newsom, and she drives in. Right-hand shot off the side of the rim, no good. Tambling grabs the board, and now Augie on the run. And a nice block from Johns, but it will go right to Tambling, and she gets another basket.
That's the last person you want to block it and have the ball end up in the hands of.
Bachman inside Shoemaker. She's on that left block.
A lot of room
Near
in
the
that
elbow.
paint.
She won't use it, though. She kicks out to Wilson. Now the Cardinals will reset their offense. 14 on the shot clock and counting. Shoemaker gets it to go, and she was hit on the shot. Going for her second three-point play of the evening.
Hopefully Coach Roof is seeing that opening. Shoemaker, when she had the ball down low, all four Cardinals are beyond the arc, so really it's just her one-on-one in that paint. And with the moves we've seen in the post from her today, I'd keep going to that every offensive possession.
An added bonus, Tambling committed the foul. It's her second personal, not enough to get Coach Vineborn, worried or anything, but still at the same time, that's good for the Cardinals. Shoemaker.
Yeah, you never know. You come out in the second half, if she gets one or two quick fouls, and you never know, she may have to grab some bench.
Augie breaks the press. It's Michelle Todd, guarding, and she at least bothered the shot that forced the travel.
That was impressive. It was almost like they tried to do a little stutter step there, did Amy Hicks, but one too many.
21st turnover. I mean, they're on pace for more than 40 turnovers in this game. North Central doing a great job getting back in this first half and at least contesting the shot. Shot was no good from Murphy. Ball rolls out of bounds. Will stay with Augie.
Well, I think in this whole time, North Central's gone on this run to build the 8-point lead. What they've been doing really well, not so much scoring, but getting back on defense. Being able to disrupt these Augustana transitions to where they're not getting that easy layup and they actually have to work for the points.
At this point, I mean, it's really all you can ask from the system as they force, yet again, another turnover off the inbound pass. The system is so offensively focused. So many players in that front court. Michelle Todd just doing an outstanding job getting to the backcourt and just contesting shot, making things different for that offense of Augie.
Yeah, when you're the last man back for the Cardinal defense, you're asked to do a lot. You're expecting you're going to get a lot of 2-on-1s, but as you said, just Todd being able to disrupt the shot, maybe force that extra pass to allow one of your teammates to get back, and that can really make all the difference.
Todd, one of those players that stat sheet-wise, you don't, look at her and go, well, that's a big part of the offense or the defense or anything like that. 3 points here tonight, all off of free throws, a couple of rebounds, but again, it's just that It's
the stats that don't show.
There you go, yeah.
They don't really keep in the scorebook deflections or, disrupted shots, things like that. They keep track of turnovers, points, rebounds, things like that. But the things you can't see are what really make Michelle Todd an effective player.
Resin at the line missed the first of 2 free throws. The foul was on Pecora, her first personal 10th team foul. So 2 shots from here on out from both squads, really, foul-wise, because North Central with 9 team fouls as well. But we're only with 16 seconds left. In the first half, Resin splits the pair.
I'd like to see the Cardinals go with a little bit looser of a press with only 16 seconds left to play.
And really, it is all or nothing with this press as they're going to keep going. It's Newsom playing safety in the backcourt. And here she is. And what do you know? It's Sophie Newsom, third taken charge of the game. And now the Cardinals get the ball right back with 7 seconds to work with. And that's certainly enough time for this offense.
Oh, that's enough for this offense to score 2 buckets.
So here we go. It's Johns running up the court. Guarded by Pecora. Inside, Shoemaker. Shot with no good. Clock expires. But a very good half from the Cardinals. 55-46 is your halftime score. We'll be back in a couple minutes with some thoughts on the first half. But as it stands right now, Cardinals taking a 9-point advantage to half. Right here on NCTV, Channel 17. Welcome back to Gregory Arena inside of Murner Fieldhouse. Your halftime score, North Central 55. Augustana 46. I'm Justin Zipser alongside me, as it has been for the last couple of weeks, Mark Dahlquist. And Mark, we talked a little bit about what worked in the first half, but I guess the interesting thing, I was looking over the stats a little bit as North Central has this 9-point lead. Augustana has actually made 2 more field goals, but it's that 3-point shot that Cardinals really died by throughout the year that's really given them this lead.
Well, not only that, yes, the Cardinals have stepped out behind the arc a lot more and been quite effective, I must say, for they're above their season average, shooting 44% from behind the arc. But really the free throws, where the Cardinals have made 73% of their free throws compared to only 41% for the Vikings. So right there's a 6-point swing right there and could make or break the difference in this game.
Coach Roof with their 9-point lead, something to laugh about with the referee. 22-42, this is their 3rd year at North Central. That's her overall record. Again, last season, North Central only 1 conference win and 7 wins overall. This season, Cardinals have already tied that total record of 7 wins, but all that came in non-conference schedule. The real stuff comes in the CCIW. Cardinals still winless in that regard. And they're looking for their first one here tonight if they can hold on in the second half. We are underway. Second half action from Murner Fieldhouse. It's Bobby Johns, pump fake, her shot up and good over Tambling. Nice shot there.
That was a very different offensive series than we've seen for the Cardinals. Usually it's shoot as quickly as possible. They did a nice job of moving the ball around, and Johns did a great drive there for the bucket.
North Central showing their familiar press, and they get another turnover out of it. It's Kimberly Johns coming up with the steal, or at least picking up the loose ball. Gladys for 3. Looked good from our angle, but it's Todd with offensive board, and she does not get it to go either. Shot forced, I guess you could make that argument by Tambling. It went off Todd out of bounds, I believe, and will stay with Augie. Inside, wide open shot, up and good from Amy Hicks. Basically no one in the paint there to contest that. Interesting out of a half-court set. Either way, North Central with the ball. It's a scoop shot from Bachman. Offensive board to Shoemaker. North Central has another shot to get some points up on the board. 15 and counting on the shot clock, now 10 rather. Resin to the hoop. No good, doesn't hit the rim again, but it's Shoemaker finally cleaning up over some other players' messes.
Showing some amazing body control too, Shoemaker, on that rebound and putback.
Etheridge loses it, goes out of bounds. I'm not sure who was off of. There seems to be some sort of confusion over that.
I know Newsom got a hand in there to disrupt the pass. Not sure if she tipped it or not. It's on the other end of the court from our angle, but it looks like it'll stay with the Vikings.
You can see Coach Roof's displeasure with that call. She was basically at the timeline shouting to the referees. But she will not change their mind and will stay with Augustana for 3. A rare 3-point shot is no good. Cora's had a couple of attempts from beyond the arc. Has had none of them to go. North Central with their largest lead of the game, 11 points. Swanson with a bid to enlarge it, and she does from three-point land, 62-48 Cardinals.
Swanson just shooting lights out from behind the arc. She's 3 for 4 on the day, really making an impact there from long distance.
Certainly not a volume shooter this year. She comes up with a steal. Here's another one. And it goes front rim out of bounds off of Hoy, and it'll go Augustana's direction. Not a volume shooter, but she's making the shots that she's shooting tonight count.
Yeah, I mean, she was a volume shooter for the Cardinals last year, one of the few that shot from behind the arc so frequently, but with this offense, everybody's shooting from behind the arc. So Swanson, smart enough to know when to dish it and when to shoot it.
Smart play there by Hicks. I guess she didn't find anything as far as the inbound was going, and instead of calling a timeout, wasting one so early in the second half, she just kind of throws it off of Shoemaker's legs and resets the clock, basically. So finally finds a teammate for the inbound, and here they go running across the timeline. Beautiful pass inside from Cora, no good. I think that may have been blocked by Todd. Todd inside to Shoemaker. Now here she has room to work. And basically, her defender just fell over trying to draw a charge. Shoemaker was having none of that. Put it in for the uncontested shot.
Yeah, Shoemaker really just brushed McNally off her shoulder, and now the Cardinals force a turnover. Momentum's really swinging their direction now.
Here's Todd inside. Her first field goal is in the basket. That is a huge momentum swing as far as the 2 points, 2 baskets in that single possession. 66-48 is your score. We are just beyond 3 minutes into the second half. And Mark, just like the first half, Cardinals come out blazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, they opened this half on an 11-2 run. You can't ask for a better start to a half right now for the Cardinals. They're getting it done, not only shooting the ball, but their press has been quite effective, which is surprising because Augustana showed a very good ability to break it in the first half. But the Cardinals, they're getting their hands active, disrupting passes, and getting turnovers because of it.
They have forced 3 turnovers so far in the second half, giving some of this Murner Fieldhouse crowd to cheer about. I don't want to jump to conclusions here, Mark, because we know how tough the schedule is, but right now the Cardinals are certainly on their way to the first CCIW win. If they can hold on, what does that do for a team's confidence, matching such a low record from last season early in the conference schedule?
Well, you know, again, we're not jumping ahead of ourselves. A lot of game left here, 17 minutes to go. Cardinals well on their way, though, if they keep this up. But the thing is, this is going to be huge for them. They had to wait till the last game of the season to get their first conference win. So you never even got the momentum off that win. Basically, you get the win, and then you're saying goodbye to your seniors. So the Cardinals, the fact that if they can pick up a win, it'll really help carry into the future CCIW games. And not only that, they can really, you know, obviously put points up, and they can contest, as we saw with the top-tier teams like Carthage and hopefully the Wheatons and Illinois Wesleyans.
Again, we want to reiterate, we don't want to jump to conclusions here. We're basically, you know, if
don't change that channel.
You could be in store for a first conference win here for the Cardinals. But you see Hicks again with that same move of throwing it off a defender's leg to reset that 5 seconds for the inbound pass, and it works again. So nice crafty move from the Vikings, but the ball's thrown away. So either way, North Central forces their 4th turnover already of the second half. Press has certainly been working wonders so far.
That's going to be an offensive.
It was Resin on Braids, and she stood her ground, and Resin gets charged with the offensive foul.
Nice job by Bates, just staying home and getting prepared for that hit.
North Central has 16 steals tonight. Part of those 27 turnovers.
Well, we always talk about their three-point shooting and how they lead the nation. The Cardinals are actually 3rd in the nation in steals per game with a little over 18 per game.
So they are almost to that season average. Here's a long 3 from Cooling, front rim, no good. Newsom had to really contort her body to at least get a fingertip on that ball, but it rolls out of bounds regardless.
Yeah, Cooling was almost NBA range with that one she launched.
Etheridge taking on 2 defenders and moving along. But behind her, it's Todd once again. Almost steals it. It's saved by Braids. Inside Hicks, tough basket over Newsom, but she gets it to go. No foul call on the play, but a tough basket nonetheless. 14-point advantage for the Cardinals. Third foul on Etheridge rather, for Augustana. First team foul.
I think a factor that's going to come into play here in the second half is the freshness of the legs. The Cardinals are used to getting a lot of subs and nobody playing more than 10 minutes in that first half, while the Augustana starters, they're all averaging around 16, 17 minutes.
That is one of the clear advantages of this line change system, whatever you want to call it, for North Central, as the miss from Swanson is rebounded by Augustana. You have a ton of fresh legs, guys, or players not in the game for too long at one time. Certainly an advantage for North Central. Nice move to the basket from Pecora, but she cannot hit the bunny, and it's Todd with the rebound. Hoy misses Swanson on the right wing, instead takes it herself, and we got a foul on the loose ball.
Not only did she miss Swanson on the right wing, she also had Elam on the left wing, but Hoy seemed determined to take that one to the hoop on that transition play.
She certainly had a good look at it, but could not get it to go with the left hand. The foul was on Todd, the loose ball variety. First personal, second team foul. Inside, it is up and good. Back to their old tricks. This time it's Bades, excuse me. Swanson for three. Again, she gets it to go. Her fourth of the game.
She found her that time. Hoy must have known she missed her the last time.
Nice lob pass inside to Bades. They're going to her often in the second half, and now second consecutive basket for her.
Elam needs some help.
Ball thrown away. Murphy, Swanson in it with it, but it is Augustana coming up with the ball. Pecora left-hand layup, and all of a sudden, Mark, it's only an 11-point deficit for Augustana.
Yeah, the Cardinals got a little bit of a cushion there with that nice start, but Augustana's slowly swinging that momentum back in their direction, diving for loose balls, getting transition buckets.
Got a timeout on the floor. A little substitutions will be employed, as well as Coach Roof will take the five that were on the floor out and put a new group in there, as we usually see. Looks a little distressed there by the run from Augie. She does not want to lose this lead, obviously. Augustana bid for more points, shot no good. Shoemaker went up for the board. I believe we're going to call a loose ball foul on the Augie player that kind of darted in there.
Going to go against Van Ryan, her second. Almost every Augustana player on this roster has 2 fouls or more.
Gladys to John, she's tiptoeing the line, and she finds Wilson in the corner. 3-point shot, no good. Newsom grabs the loose ball and puts it right back up, just a couple of feet from the basket. Nice job there.
Well, that's when the tip drill works. We've seen it a couple times where the Cardinals are accidentally tipping it out to Viking players, but that tip right to Newsom, and Newsom connects.
North Central only 5 down in the rebound statistic. We usually see them with a rebounding deficit because of how many shots they put up. The shot from Gladys is good from 3 after Augustana gets a basket from Kerr.
I was going to say John's missed Shoemaker down the court. She was wide open under the basket, but I'll take a 3-point bucket any day over it too.
Leads back to 14 for North Central. Kicked out for 3 once again. It's back rim, no good. For Kerr.
She's got her this time.
Shoemaker wide open. She gets hacked by, Kerr. She'll go line for a couple there. She was wide open. The pass was a little bit slow getting to her, but either way, a couple of points here possible for North Central.
Well, that's going to be Kerr's 3rd foul, so she might have to head to the bench.
Shoemaker good from the line. Lauren's got 16 points now to lead all scorers in this game. 7 of 10 from the field. Again, we've seen her wide array of post moves tonight. Doing a good job getting to the line on some of these shots as well. A nice offensive board from Cooling. She just throws up a shot in desperation. whilst being fouled. So she will go to the line and try to get a couple more points as Shoemaker splits her pair.
Oh, credit Shoemaker for that rebound. She knew that was short coming out of her hand, and she screamed it, let her teammates know, short, get in there. And Cooling able to grab onto the ball and just put it up, hoping for the foul, and she gets it.
Cooling front rim on the first shot. 7 points for Kelsey tonight. And we got a timeout on the floor before we get to the second of the 2 free throws. But as it stands right now, North Central back up to a big lead. 15 points. Sorry, my math is not very good. 75-60 is your score. 13.5 left. We'll be right back for a possible North Central win right back here on NCTV 17.
Lewis and Clark, great explorers. Hey, wait. Hi, I'm Thomas Jefferson. Would you check out the West for me? Oh, sure. And they take their keelboat up the Missouri. Oh, Buffalo. Then they built Fort Mandan. They're at 1804. Made some friends along the way. I'm Sacagawea. Through the Columbia Gorge. Ah!
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
The sweet Pacific Ocean. Yeah!
Back here on NCTV Channel 17, Cooling misses the second of 2 free throws, but North Central still up by 15, 75-60 is your score. Around 13.5 remaining. North Central almost forces another turnover. It was Beck getting her hands on the inbound, the pass into the paint. She gets knocked with the foul, though.
Just to remind our viewers, don't go anywhere after this game. We've got a big matchup coming up as North Central men will take on the Augustana men's team. 2 teams that are very, very good in CCIW, both made the CCIW tournament last year, excuse me.
Resin and Van Ryn kind of dove at the same time for that ball. It'll stay with North Central as well, off Van Ryn. I believe they actually called a foul on Van Ryn, so third personal on Van Ryn. Inside Cooling, almost an impossible shot, just kind of scooped it up over 2 defenders. Loose ball foul will go against North Central.
That would have been a top 10 play had that one got in. That was almost Dr. J-esque.
Cooling putting some shots up here in the second half. And the ball rolls right between the legs of McNally, so North Central gets the ball right back.
Been a couple times where it seems like the Augustana's inbound passes have just been off the mark, and North Central's been able to capitalize and see if they can here.
Inside, North Central attacking the paint. This time it's Resin, and she gets it to go.
We call that the give me the ball and get out of my way play.
Here's Etheridge on the other side. 2-on-1, guess 3-on-1 technically. Etheridge puts it up over Beck, and she stands strong. Marion gets the board as well. Cooling to the other side. Shot no good once again. And got a loose ball foul. We've seen Kelsey Cooling, really be aggressive here in the second half. It really hasn't really worked out for her, but different kind of offensive set we're seeing from North Central.
Yeah, she's been very active, whether it's putting up the outside shot or just trying to drive the lane, looking for the open person. She's having a nice second half here and really keeping the tempo up for the Cardinals, which is what they want.
On the other side, it's Augie breaking the press. Basket up and good. Looks like it was McNally putting that in for Augie. Here's Shoemaker. Right around her defender, shot up, no good. She'll go line though for a couple of shots right around Bades. Saw the mismatch there, went right at it.
And again, that's the third foul on Bades, so some of the starters here for the Vikings could be getting into foul trouble if the Cardinals keep attacking the hoop.
Augie had 15 fouls as a team in the first half. They're already up to 6 in the second. Around 12.25 left here in the second half. Lead back up to 16. And there's Todd going right between the pass and its intended target, but she gives it away, so North Central does not get a chance to put points up on that possession, if you wouldn't even want to call it that. Other side, Etheridge inside, McNally rejected. Ball bounces around. I believe it was Shoemaker on the rejection. And it will work for North Central as they'll get the ball back. 30 turnovers for Augie. We mentioned, I guess, earlier in the first half that they were on pace at 1 point for 40, and they are certainly still on that pace.
And that could also have to do with the amount of subs the Cardinals are able to get into the game and keep those fresh legs in. Sometimes when you get tired, you tend to throw the ball away a little bit more.
North Central with the ball. Newsom for three, and it's good. Another three-point shot for North Central. And this one off the hands of a familiar face of Newsom.
Newsom hasn't had that much effectiveness from behind the arc today. That was her first one there, and a big one, too, for the Cardinals.
Etheridge, quick shot, no good. Cladis gets the board. And let's see who they call this on. Loose ball foul. They're going to call this on Augie, it looks like. Or, yep, indeed, on Pecora. Largest advantage of the game for North Central. They're at a 20-point lead. Bobby Johns at the line to try to make that a little bit bigger. First, a one-on-one is missed, but Ellington gets the board. Tanisha just getting into the game. And Johns on the drive, she gets fouled yet again, so she'll have another chance here for a one-and-one.
Ellington's one of those players. She doesn't see the floor as much as the other ones, but when she gets in, she makes her minutes count. She's only a junior, doesn't really get a lot of minutes like we said, but she fights hard for him, gets those rebounds that she needs to. She got a big one there.
And because of her rebound, Bobby Johns will have another shot at the free throws. Again, she missed the first of the one-on-one on the previous trip. And she makes good on Ellington's rebound here. Third point of the game for Bobby. She also has a team lead, at least tied, with 5 assists, along with had the name, along with Amanda Hoy. Second of the two shots, no good. Etheridge, her jump shot is good. We haven't seen a lot of mid-range game from either squad, really. It's either feast or famine as far as paint and perimeter game. Inside, Johns will go to the line yet again.
Yeah, I feel like in the first half, Augustana wasn't taking anything longer than about a 7-foot shot. And they came out in the second half and started taking jumpers that were, you know, just inside the arc. You got 17-footers going up, and they really weren't effective. Augustana, I think if they want a chance at all to get back in this game, they got to go back to the inside game. But when you're down 20, that's sort of tough to do.
I'm sure they're going to try, but North Central's defense has just been so good, especially when they're attacking them off that press. You know, Augie really hasn't even been in the position to get it inside to the paint.
Oh, the Cardinals just look like they're having fun out there. During that free throw, you saw Todd and Cooling at half court. They were having a little chuckle. You know, things are a lot more fun, I guess, when you're up 20.
Winning is good for camaraderie for sure. The press is going to knock that pass out of bounds. It was Bachman. Augie will still keep the ball, though. .21-point advantage for North Central. The Augie miss is picked up right at the rim. Put back in by Van Ryan. Del dribble.
Just another fundamental turnover by the Vikings. I feel like they've had a lot of those in the second half, whether it be miscues on inbounds, traveling, or double dribbles. They've just been giving North Central the momentum, and let's be honest, the Cardinals have taken advantage of every opportunity in this second half. It looks like a different team out here.
Swanson for another three, went all but in, rattles out. Referencing the turnovers mark, 31 for Augie. It's just an obscene amount. The shot is up and good. At least they're staying in it. They're making their shots from mid-range.
Well, and I feel like the Cardinals were at 18 turnovers with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. They're only at 22 now, so that means you got about 15 minutes of just almost turnover-free basketball the Cardinals have been playing.
Kerr grabbed the rebound after she made the shot on the other end. You see a group of Cardinals set to come back in for North Central. Kerr for three. She can't make it two in a row. But that's a good point, Mark. Going back to what you said, I don't think it's any coincidence here that North Central has kind of increased this lead to where it is right now. You know, obviously because they've been taking care of the ball. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and I mean, we're used to it in this offense. You're going to see turnovers. They move the ball quickly. They get back quickly. So you're going to see turnovers in the game. But the fact that, you know, the Cardinals had basically were losing the turnover battle until about 5 minutes to go in that first half, and they just sort of started taking care of the ball better, and it's just swung dramatically into Augustana's way.
Ball bounces around. It's finally stolen by North Central. Johns inside to Murphy, and she goes up with the right hand from the left side of the basket. Another hoop for North Central.
Nice job by the big body Murphy, knowing when to run the floor.
Here's Kerr again. Really, the offense has been running through her for the past, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes. She's had a couple of baskets. Wilson, foul on her attempt, blocking foul, will be on boards. North Central nearing their season average in points, around 89. We also mentioned how they're third in the nation in steals with around 19 a game. They're at 17 right now. So I guess the things that the Cardinals fans are used to seeing North Central do well this season, they've kind of come through on. And part of the reason they are looking like they're going to grab a win if they can hold on for the last 9:07.
Well on their way to reaching their scoring average, but more importantly, they're well below what they've been giving up this year as they give up close to 90 points a game. The Vikings only with 70. The Cardinals want to be successful this year and the remainder of the year. That's the main thing they're going to have to work on and use this game as an example on how to be effective. And it's always easy when the other team keeps throwing it away like that.
Another turnover for Augie. Augustana gave up 46 points North Park, 73 to Carthage, and only 53 to Wheaton. So a pretty stout defensive team, not bad at all, especially in the CCIW play this season. But North Central certainly had their way offensively with them tonight. Shoemaker, and she has just been fantastic tonight.
I think what was most intriguing about that offensive possession is when Shoemaker realized she was trapped down low, she threw the ball off the Augustana's Viking player's foot, and that basically gave North Central just a fresh set with the inbounds, as things are just completely swinging the Cardinals' direction.
Things not going well on the other side for Mark Beinhorn. 20 points for Shoemaker, 8 of 11 from the field. She's just been fantastic from on the floor tonight in her 13 minutes of work. Again, not any single Cardinal gets a ton of time on the floor. As the Cardinals throw it away, it's Etheridge on the run for Augie.
It just goes to show you that those people that whose names they're calling at the beginning of the game doesn't really matter, because Shoemaker was not a starter in this game.
Swanson for three. Front rim is a little bit short, but she almost grabs her own rebound. Instead, it's Newsom. And they need some spacing here. They just got two shooters on the right wing. Newsom for three, going for a second. No good. It was way off. Elam goes for the steal. The Cardinals really have hands on every single pass tonight. Of course, not literally, but they have been very good. Shot from Etheridge was no good. Shot is good, and the foul. That was Bades on the shot.
Vikings looking for any little bit of life they can muster right now. This game's clearly in the Cardinals' control. and they've been showing it throughout this second half. Vikings hoping Bades can try and get something going in their direction.
With that shot, Bades up to 8 points on the game. All that offensive output has come in the second half. She had nothing in the first half, but 9 points now. She hits the free throw. 90 to 73 is your score. Here's Johns. Now Todd. Looks like they were trying to get it inside to Murphy, who's trying to post up on the block. Todd finally gets it to Murphy. She's not on the block anymore. Wilson barrels her way in, but the shot was no good, a little bit wild. But she helps with the trap and forces an Augie timeout. Okay, North Central still up 18, 7-22 away from their first CCIW win this season. We'll be right back with more on NCTV 17.
Hunger is a problem in our community.
I've got an idea.
But we can help by raising awareness and working together with friends and neighbors. We can make a difference. Your donations of food, money, or time will help end hunger in our community.
Be a part of it.
We're a part of it. I'm a part of it.
To be a part of it, contact Loaves and Fishes Community Food Pantry.
Back here on NCTV17.com, both the channel and the website. We're streaming and we're on your television as well. Thanks for joining us, no matter how you're joining us. 91-73 is your score, 7:22 remaining in the second half. Most of the offensive load for Augustana being kind of helped up by Jessica Bades and Maddie Kerr, where we saw a big first half from another play we haven't seen in the second half.
Yeah, you know, it's been Bades and Kerr all in the second half, and we were expecting coming out that it was going to be Channy Tambling, who had 16 points in that first half, really was a dominating force inside. But as I saw during the break, she's got a little bit of a soft cast on her. Looks like her non-shooting hand, but she has been not only not effective in the second half, she hasn't even been on the floor. So when you lose your leading scorer, you expect things to get a little tough, but not 18 points down tough.
When she was in the game, I guess at halftime, the score was 55-46, North Central on top. And since she's been gone, Augie's had trouble finding that offensive spark, and really North Central's taking advantage of that. Here's Johns. And now Todd inside. Her shot is blocked, but oh wait, there was a foul. I guess they're going to call that on Bades.
Cardinals might have got away with something there. That looked pretty clean to me, but as Cardinal fans, you'll take it.
When you saw the smile on Todd's face, I think maybe she was agreeing with you, Mark. Not smiling anymore, though. She's getting set for the free throws. Misses the first of two. Again, Todd, that glue player for North Central, really does it all. Does a great job of getting back on the break, defending fast breaks for North Central. Splits the pair. Michelle also with 5 rebounds. She'll take a seat on the bench.
Cardinals just dominating in the free throw category here today. They've been to the line 30 times compared to 13 for Augustana. So that's definitely helped build their lead and build the momentum.
Etheridge threw it away there. That's her 6th turnover of the game. Among many Augie players who have thrown the ball away. Leading the team in turnovers is Amy Hicks with 8. Ball tapped out of bounds. It will stay with North Central. Augie total 36 turnovers.
So just 23 for the Cardinals. That's a stat you like to see.
Yeah, most certainly. If it's in your favor, I'm sure North Central will take that any day of the week. Newsom going away from the basket with the right hand was no good. Really has helped open up the floor for the offense, the turnovers that is. Shot no good. Augie grabs the rebound. Puts it inside. It's Shoemaker to Bachman for 3, no good. But look at Resin among the trees. She gets the offensive board, but her shot was no good. Again, stay tuned if just joining us, we got another second part of a doubleheader coming up after this game at around 7:30. The men's version of this game, Carthage and North Central. North Central, #1 in the nation, but coming off of their first loss of the season. So we'll see how the Cardinals respond. Hopefully similar to how the women are responding here tonight. 92-75 is your score.
Cardinals have reached the century mark 3 times this year, scoring 102 and 110 in wins over Milwaukee School of Engineering and Dominican University. Then they notched 104 in a win against Goucher College. So reaching 100 points seems to be assuring them a win.
It's also becoming commonplace, really. I mean, you see 100 points in any type of college game, it's like, wow. But, you know, when you watch these girls play, it's almost expected, almost needed to win because of that defensive deficiency. Foul was on Swanson, her second personal. First, the 1-on-1 hit by Hicks.
I wonder if they do something here at North Central. If the Cardinals score 100, do you think we get a free Big Mac?
Well, there's lots of fast food restaurants to pick from here at North Central. So maybe the school can get on that.
I'll talk to somebody.
you know some people. Yeah. Inside, it's Murphy for the score. They're 6 away from the century mark. And the imaginary tacos or burgers or whatever have you.
We don't even have tacos.
5:45 remaining. It's Van Ryn, no good. The miss is picked up by Hicks, but I believe they're going to call a loose ball foul on Hicks. She may have pushed down Beck. You see Marion's all right back up on her feet.
I think she gave her a little shove to try and get that rebound. And as you said, Beck hit the floor. 2 Cardinals actually on the floor. She was a little too wide open for that rebound to not have disrupted somebody else's progress.
I believe Paula Elam was the other player who got knocked over. She's limping a little bit as she goes to the bench.
Looks a little shaken up. She's leaning against the scorer's table right now. She'll come into your picture soon.
Anyway, a new set of subs for North Central. Elam among the Cardinals taking a seat on the bench. First of the 1-on-1 is missed. Well, it's 2 shots, though. I guess the referees did not make that clear to the players and to the broadcasters, even though that's our job. It's a 2-shot foul trip for Beck. And she splits the pair. Again, Augie won both the regular season matchups against North Central last season. And Bobby Johns gets in the way of a pass, but it works for Augie. So they get on the run. Inside shot is good. That's Hicks once again. Nice penetration from Johns to Shoemaker, but Lauren fell over.
She was dribbling while she fell.
It's a pretty advanced move, but either way, she got called for it. It's still a fantastic game for Lauren, 20 points for her.
I think what's really impressive, and I think what Coach Rufus is going to love to see, is that even though the Cardinals are winning and winning convincingly, they're still playing hard. They're still running back on D. They're still pushing it up the floor. And if they want to be, competitive with the top-tier teams in the CCIW, this is exactly what they need to do.
More of that kind of defense, too. You saw the home run pass to, not really makes sense, a touchdown pass to McNally cross court. It was Todd who came from behind, knocked it away. Either way, Augie still gets a basket out of it. Todd knocks it out of bounds off of the Cladis miss. It'll go right back to Augie. 14-point lead for North Central, but still 5 minutes to go. Even without their main scoring threat, Augie, you cannot take them, lightly.
Elam's at the end of the Cardinals bench. She took off her right shoe. Looks like she probably won't be returning to this game.
Slammed down the shoe that she took off in frustration. As a player, when you're winning, you want to be out there with your teammates experiencing that win, but she had a big part of it here tonight. 3-point from Augie is good. So now it's 11-point lead, as you see Elam there, taking the tape off of her right ankle.
Cardinals better pick it up because this all of a sudden is a game with 4 minutes to go.
Cooling inside, her aggressive nature has continued in the second half, but it hits front rim. And on the other side, here's Sakura. She puts it in, and Mark, all of a sudden, it's a single-digit game.
Yeah, the Vikings fans are definitely starting to enjoy this run. And all of a sudden, you know, the Cardinals were getting back on defense, not giving Augustana easy shots, but it seems the Vikings the past few times down the court have just been walking in for buckets.
I'll tell you, Mark, I think the difference here is North Central is not forcing the same amount of turnovers that they have been basically the rest of the game. 38 turnovers for Augie right now is their game total. But there hasn't been really too much action in that department over the last couple of minutes. And really, Augie is taking advantage of that. They're breaking the press. They're getting inside. They're getting easy baskets, too. North Central, they can't respond on the other end.
Well, that's the thing. When you run this type of offense with the Cardinals, you know they're still going to be pushing the ball up the floor. But that can tend to hurt you when you're up 20 points because you're still moving quickly. The other team's moving quickly, and they can score a lot quickly. And the Vikings have done that, basically swinging the momentum back in their direction despite still being down 9.
Field goal percentage for Augie, certainly it's in their favor. 53% for Augie, 40% for North Central. North Central's hit 10 more three-pointers than Augustana has, making up the main differential in the scoring. But it's an interesting game. I mean, they certainly they've showed some pressure. They did not lie down, and even without their main scoring threat, they have really found ways to produce offense.
Well, maybe that's just it. The Vikings seemed a little lost there, I guess, to open the second half, and I'd be too if my best scorer in this game was sitting on the bench. And all of a sudden, now with Tambling on the bench, they've figured out how to score, and they've slowly inched their way back into this game.
So here we go, North Central trying to regain this momentum. They had a 20-point lead at one point, and now it's at 9 with 4 minutes remaining, a little bit more than. Kimberly Wilson way off on her three-point attempt. And now Augustana with another shot to decrease the deficit. Step-up jumper, no good from Kerr. North Central catches a break there because she had a wide-open shot from around 12 feet out. Wilson will let it fly once again, and she gets it to go for 3.
We call that last shot a practice shot when she airballed it. She was just trying to get her range down. She got it down, and that's a big 3 to help put out the fire that the Vikings have created here.
It seems like with Kimberly, it's either an air ball or a make, and it certainly has been a more important make there. She hits the three-pointer. Now Augie with a miss on their end. Inside, nice pass from Hoy, but it hits Murphy in the foot. It bounces around, or I guess the leg rather, because if it was hitting the foot, it would have been a kick ball violation. He'll stay with the Cardinals. You know what? Actually, it was a foul. I guess it was a loose ball foul on. Waiting on the number. I'm confused as Coach Roof here.
Yeah, I agree because, I mean, they're calling a foul. It appears. I'm confused.
As it stands, it will be Boers at the line taking a couple of free throws.
They're calling a foul. And, oh, there they go. They switched it now to 31. I was going to say there's no 51 on the roster. And that's who the foul was called on, but it was called on 31 Emily Murphy. Her third, but
so they called, I guess, as both players were going down on the floor, her and Boers. But either, I
each
think
player's
it's a tough
got a right to that ball, though.
Boers does a good job at the line. It's back to a 10-point lead for North Central. Coach Roof still a little bit flabbergasted by that call. Either way, it's going to be North Central with the ball, 10-point advantage, 3:20 left here in the second half. Cooling right wing. They're going to go cross court to Resin, who works her way into the paint. Shoemaker back to the well. Her shot up. Goes around the rim, it's no good. Some good post moves, but she couldn't get the shot to fall. Augie going the other way, they're on the break. Pecora puts it in. Eight-point lead for North Central. It's back to single digits. Going back to Shoemaker. On Bades, her shot, no good. Bounces off the hands of Resin, and there's just absolutely zero momentum right now for North Central. Coach Roof obviously sensing that. She sends in 5 players off the bench to replace the 5 on the court.
Get those fresh legs in there. I know there's only 2.5 minutes left in the game, but fresh legs could be an advantage to the Cardinals right now.
Coach Mark Beinhorn has been active, really clapping his players on. He's been so impressed, it seems, at least from our vantage point, by this comeback from Augie. Really hard to be unimpressed with this. Ball on the floor, North Central jumps on it.
Great job by John staying with that.
Here's Wilson on the break over 3 players. They're going to call a blocking foul. I believe what they're going to say here is that McNally was in that circle.
Yeah, McNally, I couldn't tell if her feet were set or not, but she was in that circle, as you mentioned. So the Cardinals catch a little bit of a break, and there are 2 big free throws coming up with just over 2 minutes left on the clock. The Cardinals really need these to try and secure the win, and they won't get the first one.
11 points for Kimberly tonight. She misses her first free throw, the first of 2, 3 of 8 from the field. And all of those shots that she's made have come from beyond the arc. She splits the pair, hits the second. And getting back on defense, we've seen no press from the Cardinals right now. A change of pace.
I think that's smart. Get back on defense. You don't want to give Augustana those free transition buckets that they were used to during that run.
3-point shot, no good from Pecora. Ball on the ground, it's bouncing around. Swanson who comes up with it. We're under 2 minutes, sorry, Mark.
No, that was smart of Swanson. I was just going to say to pull up and not try and force a drive in there that wasn't needed.
Certainly you can use the shot clock to your advantage here. Draining clock. You still have a 9-point lead, multiple possessions, so even if you don't get points out of this possession, that is, at least you waste the clock. That's exactly what the Cardinals are doing.
And even if the Vikings try and foul the Cardinals, they're in double bonus, so you're going to get 2 shots regardless.
2 on the shot clock. Johns has to force something up. She stepped on the line, though, even before the shot was put up. No points out of that possession. It's a turnover, but they take 30 seconds off the clock.
I was just going to say, you may not get the bucket, but it's better than coming down, putting up a poor shot, and only taking 5 seconds off the clock. They took 30 ticks off the clock, and now you're down to under 90 seconds in this game with the Cardinals having a 9-point lead.
Clock didn't start until Pecora picked it up as she almost stumbled. The ball's tipped, and what an effort from Resin as she will go uncontested to the basket, hits the layup, and we're back to double digits.
Yeah. That was just the nail in the coffin. Callie Resin was just the hammer. Way to put this one away with a nice steal and sticking with it. I think the Cardinals are now well in control of this and should go on to get their first victory.
Not so fast, Mark. It is Tambling back in the game. She's missed most of the second half due to that injury.
Why put her in now? Well, where's she been?
So Augustana was certainly working without her, doing her thing offensively and defensively as well. But either way, she's in. She hits the basket. North Central with the ball back, and Resin gets fouled. 42.7 seconds remaining. Six points for Resin. 2 of 6 from the field, and before she takes her 2 foul shots, as Cardinals are in the double bonus. We'll take a break right alongside with them. 101-92 Cardinals in control. We'll be right back here on NCTV.
No!
Oops.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Back here on NCTV 17, Augustana down by 9 points to North Central, 42.7 seconds left. Coach Beinhorn, drawing up a play for the Augie Vikings.
Well, they're going to have to draw up a couple here because the Cardinals can use the clock to their advantage, a 30-second shot clock. And we'll see what Resin can do here with these free throws, but the Cardinals can now use the clock to their advantage. And as we saw that last Viking possession, the Cardinals were pulling back on defense, not trying to pressure them on the press, which was smart, in my opinion, because that way you're forcing them to find a good look and not giving them a quick transition break.
Exactly. You have to really work for that shot. North Central usually has a little backcourt pressure defensively. as Resin nails the first of the 2 shots. Quick sub for Augie. It's Hicks taking a seat on the bench, and in her place comes Maddie Kerr. Big free throws from Resin. She nails both shots from the lines. Now back to double digits, 103-92. North Central, 23 of 35. Actually, 24 of 36 from the line. Good numbers there. Yeah, the 3-point shot is nailed by Kerr. So not over quite yet. It's still a 3-possession game. They foul Johns immediately.
Well, the Cardinals are smart to get the ball in the hands of Johns. She shoots over 81% on the year, second on this Cardinal team in free throw percentage. If I was Coach Roof, I'd have my best 5 free throw shooters in right now.
Wilson, Todd waiting in the backcourt playing safety. You can see in the back of your shot there as the first shot is missed by Johns. Murphy and Swanson on the block. That's who's in for North Central. The pair is split. 28 seconds and counting. It's Pecora. Pump fake 3-point shot is good. And they nail another one.
Augustana had 2 3-pointers this whole game until the last 30 seconds, and all of a sudden they've got 2 more. So if they want to get back in this game, that's what they're going to have to do with only 20 seconds remaining, but all of a sudden they're making it interesting.
They fouled Johns again, so she'll go to the line. North Central already ready for the free throws, but Coach Beinhorn talking to his group before the free throws. As the shot was nailed there by Pecora at the line, you can see Sophie Newsom on the bench was just kind of went like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? You know, it's tough when you're on the bench and things are happening you have no control over.
Well, if I was the Cardinals, I would assume it's going to Pecora. She's got 3 of the team's 4 3-pointers here today, so if you're going to have anybody shoot it, it'd be her.
Bobby Johns, a nice shot from the line to get it to go.
That turns it into a 3-possession game, which is huge if you don't foul.
It's all about numbers here. We're going to see a lot of free throws in the last 21.4. And again, she's only gotten 2 points out of these 2 free throw possessions, if you will. Quick 3 is put up, and this time it is nothing but air. I believe it was Kelly on the shot, and Todd grabs the rebound. Todd will be sent to the line, fouled immediately. A good thing for Augie. Todd, not a good free throw shooter.
Yes, yeah, Todd has struggled this year. She shoots under 50%. She hasn't really had a lot of opportunities to improve that. She's more of the disher-outer than the shot taker.
You know what, Mark, my mistake is actually Brown who was fouled. She, not a good free throw shooter as well. She misses the first of 2. She's hit 3 3-pointers though, helping the Cardinals out in the second half. She misses both from the line. Still 3-possession game for Augie. 7 points.
From the Cardinals, just let them take the shot.
They do. The shot is no good, but it'll stay with Augie. Bounced around. It will run out here. The clock will without run out. North Central hangs on for the victory. 105-98 is your final score. North Central grabs their first conference win of the season. And we'll be right back with North Central basketball, talking about some post-game thoughts right here on NCTV Channel 17.
Personal foul? Inactive activities on a glorious day. Huh? Let's get out there and play!
Sweet.
Ooh, freeze!
When do I get to be in?
Uh-oh. Hey, Reggie, frozen people can't talk.
P-L-A.
An hour a day.
I'm in. There are lots of great play ideas online, but don't stay too long.
Back here on NCTV Channel 17 as some of the players walking in between us. Either way,
they deserve it.
They've earned the right.
Yes.
They've earned the right to walk right between us. As 105-98 is your final score. North Central gets their first conference win of the season in CCIW play. We expected an evenly matched up matchup here, if you will, for lack of a better term, and exactly what we saw. North Central had a great second half.
Oh, it was a phenomenal second half. The Cardinals came out, and more importantly, instead of turning, they were protecting the ball and getting Augustana to turn it over. How fitting that game actually ended with a turnover where Jenny Swanson came in and stole it, because the Cardinals were really just getting after it and making Augustana force mistakes.
40 turnovers, that's what the Cardinals forced as far as Augie turnovers. That's an amazing amount of turnovers, 40, a supreme part of the win. And we saw good three-point shooting. We saw fast starts to both halves. Really, it's a good stepping stone for this team.
Well, and it's a huge momentum builder. As we touched on earlier, their first conference win didn't come till the last game of the season. So there's really no way you can build off that. When you get that first win coming on the last game, it's so much different now because the Cardinals will go into their next game with more confidence. And after they get another win, they'll have even more confidence. So this is really just a stepping stone for this Cardinal program and what they hope to be an effective season.
So that'll wrap it up for the girls' side of things. 105-98 is your final score. North Central with their first conference victory of the year. They've matched last season's conference win total already. And as you can see, men warming up for the second half of our doubleheader. We're going to take a break, but come back in, let's say, around 30 minutes or so for the second part of this doubleheader. North Central men's basketball against Carthage. Thanks so much for watching. For Mark Dahlquist, I'm Justin Tipser. Hopefully, we'll see you in about a half hour.